Welcome everyone to the right moves.
No,
This is my new uniform, my new outfit.
no, no.
Oh, is it because it's not tilted? Maybe it's got to be a little bit tilted off the side.
Where did that hat come from?
Look, this is my hat. It's one of my hats. It's great. So I think some people have shades, some people have ties. Lex Freeman has a suit. If I go with like a hat thing over here, it's really going to set me apart. I think we don't even have to say anything at all. The views are just going to explode.
It will set you apart, that's for sure. The right moves.
It's my thing. It's a top hat. No, not a top hat. It's a bowler hat. It's great.
It needs to be brushed or something.
It needs to be brushed. I just took it from
Yeah.
the hall closet.
Yeah.
Inside
Well,
it says,
I like
"What's on your mind?" That's what it says in there.
it. It's deep.
Very nice. Yeah. Anyone's looking for a hat? It's from Bailey's.
Are you selling that? How much you selling it for?
Discontinued conspiracy sweatshop type hat situation. So try to get your hat while you can. You know what I mean?
Okay,
It could be a collector's item.
right. That's right. Hey, what is that? Is that apple juice?
This is bourbon, bud.
Why are
little
you
bit of
drinking
bourbon.
so much bourbon? You
There's
drink
only
all
one
of that?
glass. There's just one glass of bourbon.
You drink all that?
How much bourbon do you drink?
0?
It's a cocktail. Oh,
Bruh.
shots? Cocktail.
How does that help you?
I'm kidding. It's not bourbon. It's iced tea. You're
Okay,
not drinking any
good.
alcohol.
Because it's a crazy amount. It's a crazy amount of bourbon.
I just wanted to appear cool with my bowler
Okay.
hat and my bourbon.
Oh, I called you out. I see. All
called me
right.
out.
Where's your cane? I know you have one.
No, I do. I don't do canes now. I do. It's my shoehorn. I have
But where's your
long
cane?
shoehorns. I don't have it. I used to have a cane years ago. I don't have a
Yeah.
cane now. I used to have a cane and a pocket watch, but
And you
it
don't
seemed a
have
little
those
bit over the
anymore?
top. Sorry,
That seemed okay. All right, let's get on with it. What's going
it's a
on here?
dragon head cane. Okay, so the right moves.
Okay, hang on. You're peeking. Let's start over. You're peeking. So move the microphone away or yell in a different direction.
I'll turn.
As your editor, I demand it.
All right. Is this any better? Testing 1, 2. Does it sound any better to you?
It sounds better, yes. I just don't know how low it is.
Okay. So, The Right Moves is a podcast about how to trade the right wing shift in America. All right. So, we're going to go through some of the stories,
No,
trades necessary.
the right wing shift.
Well, the right moves is
No,
like a play on how the right is moving. America's moving right.
maybe try again.
And it's sort of also like a play on chess where we have to think strategically, right? You play the cards you're dealt, you play the board you have, you play the position you're in, and you find out how to capitalize on that. Look, if Kamala had won, I would have called this the left moves. All right, we'll switch it up every 4 years.
Magnus is on. He just did Rogan.
Magnus has never been particularly interesting. I've never understood his interviews.
I don't know.
He never says anything new. Magnus is the first one to say, "I'm not anything special." He goes, "It's weird that people defer to me."
He's the grandmaster. He's a grandmaster.
Yeah, but he's not. He's like that's just a series of, okay, fine, I have a particular aptitude at this game.
Yeah.
I think on Rogan he was like, some people are good at Rubik's Cube. Like, it just so happens chess is highly respected, but I can't do a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. So what doesn't he get?
What doesn't Magnus get, or what doesn't?
I mean, if it was really good at dunking a football in the basket, then
yeah, but if someone was good at dunking basketballs and they looked up to them like they were so knowledgeable, like so wise, so smart.
Oh, people look at him as though he's knowledgeable about something other than chess.
That he's generally like a genius.
Oh,
and he's like, no, I'm a genius at this thing.
Interesting. Yeah, people often make that mistake with experts. I find it tiring when I hear these experts being brought out and they're talking about something that's not their expertise. It's like,
well, even in the interview with Magnus and Joe Rogan, he's like, I'm known for being lazy. Like, I don't study hours and hours. I just sort of like have an intuition of the game. I've been playing since I was a kid, and that's what I do. So Rogan's like, "So do you do this? Do you do that? Do you do this? Do you do that?" He goes, "No, I don't do any of that." "Do you take any of these supplements?" "No." "What do you do to prepare?" I sort of just nothing. I
He
just got a
just plays.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Got a PlayStation with my wife. We so he's trying to get these insights. Oh, there must be something that this world chess champion grandmaster has that we can use that in order to get better. He's like, I sort of just like
Well, he does
wing
have
it.
one thing.
What?
It's a clip I heard where he only plays for fun.
Right.
Like
He only
fun is
plays for
his
fun.
measurement. It's his
That's right.
barometer. So he's not. He doesn't practice and do all that stuff because it's not fun for him to do. But he says he's constantly thinking about the game and playing games. While he's talking to Joe Rogan, he says he's thinking about the games he just last played.
Yeah, but
Got to be obsessed.
Kasparov, the guy before him, he's completely different than Magnus in the way that he plays.
Mhm.
And then the new guy, Gukesh, completely different still.
Hmm.
So it's not like you could be like, oh, if I have this skill, I'm going to be able to become a grandmaster or whatever, particularly good. Because Magnus is like, my advice, what advice can I give? All I do is sort of wing it. And it just so happens now that I was a world chess champion,
I
but
think
I
from
just
his
sort of wing it.
perspective, it looks like winging it, but he's probably doing the right moves.
Get that hat back. Get that hat back, buddy. There we go. The right moves. Ah, you got it. You know. All right. So Fort Knox, talking about right wing moves. This I guess someone tweeted out that, hey, we should do an audit of Fort Knox to see is all the gold there. Something like 5,000 ounces of gold or whatever it is. What is it? What's the amount? Yeah, so like 2.5% of all the gold in the world that's known about, above ground gold, supposed to be at Fort Knox. And the idea is that initially it was there as a peg for when the gold was pegged to the dollar. You had to have gold back assets. Nixon put an end to that in 1971. Let's go ahead, start printing, and then now we have assets aren't backed by gold except the paper gold market. And the paper gold market, when you're trading futures of golds or ETFs or all these different things, that's supposed to be some sort of claim on gold. These things are like leverage. They're like 100 to 1 leverage on gold. So there's not enough gold to account for everything, but fine. But the idea here is that if they go and audit Fort Knox, and it turns out there's less gold than was said, like substantially less gold than is claimed, or worse, no gold,
Then what?
that could cause a break-in of confidence within the U.S. structure. You go, well, this is the problem, and they've been lying this for years. What else are they lying about? Let's
But
just start selling off.
what does the gold what does the gold matter? Like what is the gold used for? What difference does it make? You operate on fiat, so who cares about the gold?
Right, exactly. So it's more about that they're lying about it.
Yeah, but so what? They're lying about a bunch of stuff. Who cares?
I understand. So
I
then,
just don't understand how. Okay, so they get to Donald Trump gets to Fort Knox. They open up that safe.
Papa Musk, yeah,
That's right. They open it up. They see it's empty.
hmm
Then what?
right. So
What?
two
What?
things could
What?
happen.
What? How? Besides sentiment, how does it affect
Well, the paper gold
anything?
market could then get kibosh. It could be send ripples because if you go, well, this is the thing. Fort Knox is not the only repository of gold that might be empty or not have nearly as much gold as what's said, which is like the case.
Is that London you're talking about?
Yeah, the London Bullion Market Association, I think it is. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of gold in different locations. Those are the two big markets. And right now, there's this issue where a bunch of the waiting period to get gold from claimed physical gold from in London is like
Weeks.
up to 8 weeks.
Mhm.
So people are like, why is it taking 8 weeks? It's supposed to be right over there. How's it taking 8 weeks for me to get my gold? Meanwhile, gold seems to be on ships and planes headed over to the New York location because of uh, issues with the price of futures for gold in New York is actually higher than the futures in London. And so, do you know what a futures contract is?
Yeah, it's like stock trading in the future.
That's very nice. So if you own a futures contract, depending on the type of futures contract, gold being one of them, you can get paid. You can just sell the futures contract, but if you wait until the expiration of this contract, you can either be settled in gold or dollar amount.
Hmm.
And most people just take the money because they didn't want the gold to begin with.
Yeah, what are you going to do
Um,
with it? It's hard to manage gold. I mean, you know this because, anyway, I'm not going to talk about your business, but it takes money to manage your gold, keep it secure, transport. It's heavy.
that's right. But if the futures price of gold is higher than the spot price of gold, the physical gold, then the person who has to pay out might decide I'd rather pay out in gold because it'll be cheaper for me than
Right.
to pay you out in dollars. So if they're going to do that, well, then they need the physical gold. They need the physical gold to be delivered.
So it's the person who owns the contract who decides how you get paid out?
No, well, no, not necessarily. There's rules for different types of futures. I don't know the exact rules for gold futures, but what's going on, what seems to be going on right now, from my understanding, is that because the futures price is higher than the spot price, people want those contracts settled in gold. Like the issuer of the the one who has the burden to actually settle the contract, they want to settle it in gold. So they have to. So gold is being shipped over from London to New York in order to satisfy this, which is supposed to be. But then they go, but they're supposed to be 5,000 ton. What is it? Is it tons? Whatever, some large amount. 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 tons of gold in Fort Knox or the New York Exchange. Sorry, and then there's supposed to be like 7,000 in London,
Mm-hmm.
and there's only like a few hundred tons that are being claimed. So why is it taking 8 weeks? So people are like, suspicious. Now, normally, I don't really care about this. The trade for the paper market for gold is going to blow up. You know, the not your gold, not your coins sort of idea. And gold has been around ever since I've ever heard about gold. You have to have gold in your safe. You have to if you can't get to your gold in an emergency, you don't have the gold at all. And blah 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 blah. Totally understand. Totally fair.
Yeah.
But the question is, when does the Peter Schiff doomsday clock hit? And then you need to be able to claim it. And it's you know, it's been 20 years of being hearing
Wait,
this.
the Peter Schiff doomsday clock?
Well, the Peter Schiff moment.
Is he still at 11:59 to midnight or whatever?
I think he's at 1 second to. He's been on 1 second to, just tapping his watch. And but we're in fourth turning territory now. We have two great champions. Who knows what's going on?
Wait, Elon Musk is the first one. Who's the
Papa
second?
Musk, Papa Musk, and King Trump. Exactly. That's
King
two
Trump
great
is.
champions. We've never had dual great champions before in a fourth turning, as far as I know. And all kinds of crazy things are happening. FBI agents, 1,000 FBI agents is being sent out by Kash Patel.
Right.
You got Tulsi DNI. You got RFK. By
HSS.
all accounts, on death's door, head of HSS. Had taking people off of TV and making them putting them into the cabinet. It's all kinds of crazy things going on over here. Jory Reid just lost her spot on MSNBC. It's chaos out there, people.
I think that last one's pretty minor.
Rachel Maddow had to come back on MSNBC at a pay cut and stream more often. You think she's happy about that? No. She's expecting Kamala to win and have a nice, cozy future doing guest spots on Pod Save America on SiriusXM.
So all this relates to the gold somehow?
Yeah, exactly. So if there's ever going to be a time where the paper gold market was going to blow up, you'd imagine it'd be fourth turning territory, right? And so I always thought, okay, so then short the futures market, long physical gold, short the futures market. But what could happen is that it could cause the futures market, the price of the futures market is sort of related to the price of physical gold, spot gold. And so it could be that the collapse of the trust within the gold market causes the physical gold to skyrocket in price. And so the futures can skyrocket. The actual loss of trust within the system might cause the price to go parabolic, at least temporarily, as shorts will have to cover, and all kinds of different dynamics can get into play where a gold shoots up. But we're not a gold podcast here. Like, that's not what freaking gold. Get out of here. I
Wait,
sold
how
my
high could
gold
it
years
go?
ago. Who cares how high it can go? You know what can also go high? Bitcoin, baby. A bunch of people would be like, you know what? I've been wanting to make the switch. We need something we could put the money into right away. They don't want to sit on a bunch of US dollars. Let's just go ahead and put that money into Bitcoin. Central banks are theoretically already starting to stockpile this. Institutions are in play. Let's just switch from the paper gold market into the Bitcoin market, which to me would seem right down. Would just be a footnote inside what's going on here with the fourth turning, and that could cause Bitcoin to massively surge. And so that's the trade. That's what you're looking for. You want to be, if you think the paper gold market's going to go belly up, long Bitcoin is a trade.
I don't get it. So people who would be interested in gold would then switch to Bitcoin. Why?
As a store of value?
Yeah, but
Well,
why not bonds?
what is it? Well, bonds are essentially the same thing as having cash, right? So cash is a bond is you have a maturity of 3 months to 30 years or whatever, 100 years if you're in the UK. Depending on what kind of bond you get, you have an interest rate that you're collecting on that, a coupon that you're collecting on that, and then you can claim it at the end.
That doesn't act as a store of value.
It doesn't actually act as a store of value.
So
But
why would they go
currency,
to the risky Bitcoin versus the stable? If you go for gold, you want stability. You like tradition. You've already been negging Bitcoin. Maybe that's not the right word, but you've been ignoring Bitcoin. So why would you now jump to Bitcoin?
well, two reasons. One, the store of value within as gold as an asset for large players is not just because gold is a store of value, but it's an alternative to the existing system. So the existing system is based on treasuries. So if you're losing your faith within the system, you're not going to go to another paper system that doesn't even have anything back in it. The whole reason you put billions of dollars into gold is to have some sort of safety outside of that.
What about silver?
Silver, come on, Peter. I thought we were being serious over here. Silver,
Isn't it going up?
sure, it can go up, but you need even more space to hold silver than you do. If there's a problem with the paper market for gold, there's probably going to be a problem with the paper market for silver too.
Okay.
That's like jumping from Trump coin to Melania coin.
Does the dollar crash if there's no gold or not enough gold in Fort Knox?
No, it can go up. So what happens when you have to liquidate assets is that you're liquidating it to get dollars, which means now there's a big demand for dollars, and so dollar can spike up.
But you said they want the gold instead of the dollars.
Right, exactly. So they might go from gold to dollars to then Bitcoin, and then store their store of value over there.
So the best thing that could happen for Bitcoin is Fort Knox is empty.
Exactly.
Why would Donald Trump want to reveal that there's no gold in Fort Knox?
I don't think he would. I think he's threatening it.
But he's going.
Yeah. People have gone to Fort Knox before, and they make a show of it. Like a full transparent audit is every bar is checked, every serial number is checked transparently for everyone to be able to audit. I have not found one audit of Fort Knox or the London or anything. I haven't found any audit whatsoever. On the other side, China, the Central Bank of China, is supposed to have, I don't know, something like 2,000 tons of gold. There's estimates that they may actually have 20,000 tons of gold, that they've been secretly buying gold up all over the world in order to have a stockpile for, when they try to take over and they do their Angmar bursts, War of Sudden Flame. If you know your Silmarillion and your Lord of the Rings, you'll get that reference. So they might be sitting on 20,000 tons worth of gold, which means there's no gold in these other places. Like, that's been bought. And so the uncertainty of it all is
So
it's really juicy.
It's a threat to who? He's making a threat to who, potentially? Federal Reserve?
Well, it could be the Federal Reserve. It could be anybody who has an interest within the survivability of the financial system. So you can
Isn't
imagine
that
people
all
who
of
just
us?
come.
He's threatening all of us.
Not all of
You just
us.
described the human
Not
population.
all of us, Peter. Come on, come on.
I just don't
Certain
understand
people who matter.
why
The
why
goals, District 1, that sort of thing.
why would Trump want to create instability in his administration when it
Same way
comes
as he
to
threatened the tariffs. It gives him cards to play.
he's not just threatening the tariffs, he's putting the tariffs on. It's
Yeah,
not a
but he's not
threat.
putting as much as they did before, and it's not exactly clear and how long they're going to last and what's going to happen. I mean, how often did you hear about tariffs are going to be super inflationary and prices are going to go through the roof because of the tariffs? How many times did you heard that?
Hmm.
Now it's coming out. You're watching all these experts talk. You're like, um, where they actually go into the numbers, and it looks like actually it might be deflationary. Yeah, that's exactly what I've been saying. It's gonna be deflationary. It can only be inflationary. You have a net increase of liquidity worldwide. This drains liquidity worldwide. It's not inflationary. Okay, tariffs are not inflationary. Okay, maybe a one-time increase in certain goods and services that you don't even need to buy. So ridiculous, not inflationary. So he might be using this as a card.
Hmm.
Right? It could be a card that he wants to play. Hey, I'm crazy enough. I might go to Fort Knox. Are you kidding me? Like a silly thing, like a collusion theory, a conspiracy theory. Stop me. Let's go check it out. If he's like, I'm going to send my mad dog in there, who knows what he's going to tweet out? It could be pretty interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump has a bunch of putts on some options on gold, Nancy Pelosi style. Anyways, the trade is long Bitcoin. I think we got the clip. We can move on to the next one. Thank you very much.
Way to spell it out.
Welcome to the Right Moves, where we talk about how the right moves and how to profit from it. All right. Next up, the next story was what's the next story again?
There's Cardano and DOGE dividend.
DOGE dividend. I thought of it. I came up with it. I thought of it at the same time you said it. So what I love about the DOGE dividend is that it's very much like the Fort Knox story, right? You can sort of guess. I'll just Quentin Tarantino foreshadow it. What do you think the trade's going to be?
Long Bitcoin.
Right? Yeah. So here's one thing I want to spell out. If there's a difference when the central bank prints money, quantitative easing, adding liquidity to the system, dollar swaps, all that sort of thing. There's a difference when central banks do it than when governments do it. When central banks and issue currency, it causes asset price inflation. So stocks, real estate, any financial assets, they go up. The inflation happens there. And it causes a debasement of the currency. So the currency's decreasing in value, and you need more of it to buy the sort of assets where that liquidity is touching. I've said this all the time. If you print the reason counterfeiting is illegal is that if you print money and then you start spending it, you'll cause inflation locally and then eventually abroad as the money spreads. That's what inflating is. You're inflating the money supply. But if I print $1 billion worth of currency and I keep it in my basement and never spend it, there is no inflation. And if I only spend it in certain areas, inflation will only happen in those certain areas because that's where the money's hitting.
Right.
Where the liquidity goes that you get the inflation. So when the central banks do it, it causes asset price inflation because the liquidity is stuck within that system. When the government does it and hands it out to regular people, so regular idiots like you and I have extra money to spend, you think that goes in a savings account trying to, that's not what's happening.
Wait, didn't a lot of the COVID money go into savings accounts?
No, most of the COVID money went into, a lot of it went into the public, which is why we got a bunch of inflation. But most of it went into the 1%, those who have. That's why it was the largest upward transfer of wealth in American history. But the amount that did go into the hands of regular people, I mean, caused the worst inflation we've seen since the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And so if they decide they're going to take 20% of the savings from the government and then issue that to the people, for sure we're going to get more spurts of inflation. There's no way around it.
Okay, I don't understand this because it's money that had they not taken from the consumer, they would have had and spent.
No. So remember, It's where the dollars are circulated, where the liquidity is. If it's going to the hands of people who are 300 years old off of Social Security and their money's being funneled someplace or whatever to be used in, then it's not going to cause an inflation. But it causes inflation that goes to schmucks like you and me, and if we go buy a TV, that'll cause inflation.
What if you offset it by a reduction in government spending?
Then you just have an even amount. Yeah, that could be. Well, not exactly, because when government spends, it's only if the government spending that's cut is inflationary, where it goes into general liquidity of regular people. So if they cut social programs, Social Security, Medicare, things that help regular people, yeah, then you can offset it. But then what was the point?
I feel
So
like
it is
you're
inflationary.
making the. I feel like you're making the claim that what Donald Trump is doing with this dividend, this DOGE dividend, is not a good idea, and that's not possible.
Whoa. It is a good idea. Because it's going to be inflationary. But a lot of that money, where do you think it's going to go?
Bitcoin.
There you go, buddy. Exactly what we saw in 2020. Handed out a bunch of money. Bitcoin soared. Right? Just absolutely took off. So you're still going to get asset price. You could get asset price inflation and inflation just writ large. But Bitcoin should benefit from that pretty dramatically. And so we want
do you
that to
think?
happen.
Do you think they will do it?
I
I
think
was
people will.
the
I
the
think they'll
moment
get $1,000. I think they'll get $1,000.
the moment I started hearing about Doge cutting stuff, the moment I was like, why aren't they giving some of the money back? You know how much public support you'll get if people know the more you cut, the more I'll get. You incentivize them immediately, and
Well,
then I
that's the
see
idea.
some economist, whatever comes out, he's like, "Oh, I had this great idea." I'm like, "Why didn't 100 of you have this idea? This is
Okay.
crazy. It's no brainer."
Yeah. So that's part of the conversation. It's like, can you imagine? King Trump goes in and Papa Elon helps and just starts
Yeah, if you see
spraying
on
money
your
to the
website
populace.
the
Forget
the
it.
amount of your check right now, if it
Right.
was is 1,000, let's keep going. It'll be a firestorm.
That's right. So I do think there's a likelihood that they do that. It's sort of like it'd be difficult for them to float an idea like that and then not send any money. I don't think they're sending $5,000 per
But
eligible
what if they
adult.
cut way more from the Pentagon, for example? What if they cut 500 billion from the Pentagon?
They're not cutting the Pentagon. Okay, that's never happening. All right,
They
stop.
but
Don't even suggest it, Peter.
they
Do not cut the Pentagon.
they just
Okay,
waste so much money at the Pentagon.
how's it
It's
a
all
waste?
waste.
No, it's not, Peter. the The Pentagon, the seat of the American Empire, the strength of the American Empire. The American Empire depends on control of the waters and be able to enforce the policies
No,
for
no, I'm not
foreign
arguing
policies.
against force. That's not what I'm arguing about.
All
What
right.
I'm saying is, one day you're spending $1,000 on a hammer. That hammer doesn't cost $1,000.
No, but I mean, other than enriching a few folks,
No, it's not just that. It's that they have to spend what is appropriated, or else they get less money next time. So they go on these spending sprees. They spend overpriced things. That it's not just the Pentagon. They all do that.
okay.
So the Pentagon is not going to get less strong if you cut the budget by half.
Here's the thing. I've brought this up several times, and I guess it doesn't really come through. But the thing, as a world reserve currency, the United States has to make dollars and send it abroad. They have to, or it's deflationary.
So just give it to Americans and let them buy products abroad.
No, giving it to the Americans is the worst thing you can do. It's the worst way of spreading dollars abroad.
Okay, what compromise does the CIA have on you? Because you sound like the anti-people. Are you an
I'm not
anti-politician?
anti-people. I'm pro-American Empire. I'm pro-imperialism.
Okay.
I mean, if there wasn't an empire, I would. Well, I don't know. Every time you look through history, the periods in between empires filled with bleep and bleeps. Just not good times. Dark Ages, buddy. There were no Dark Ages during Empire times.
Okay, so send it abroad. Okay. So you think they should do the dividend, because it's
just
good
that
for
when Bitcoin go up.
Bitcoin,
Yes.
but it's bad for everything else.
Oh, inflation is pretty bad. Yeah. It's pretty nice
So
to fight
what
inflation.
value is there in having Bitcoin at 250,000 if everything is more expensive?
Well, those who have the Bitcoin won't suffer the pain as much as the people who don't have the Bitcoin. They might not suffer any pain.
No, but I mean, if Bitcoin can stay the price it is, and the price of assets is this, and then Bitcoin could go up and the price of assets go here, what do I care?
Because you
You
make
might as well
excess
not
payments.
do the dividend. You might as well not inflate Bitcoin.
No. Only those who hold the asset will benefit from the price appreciation. So you will benefit from the price appreciation. The people who don't have any Bitcoin won't. Won't. They'll suffer.
Well, yeah, exactly. So status quo, keep things the way they are.
But then how do we get richer? I don't understand.
All right. How much Bitcoin do you think? Do you think they're going to do the Bitcoin reserve thing?
Yeah, I mean,
Shouldn't
the
they do
cherry
that
has already been
before?
broken on that.
Then they should do that before the dividend, before Fort Knox.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. The way they're talking doesn't sound like they know these knock-on effects. They just say things. Someone just tweeted out to Elon and says, "Hey, that's a good idea. Let me go ask Trump." And says Trump says, "Yeah, that sounds pretty good."
Oh man,
I don't
I
know.
love it. Fly by the seat of your pants, government. It's exciting.
I don't question the great champions. Let them do what they need to do.
Are you saying
Our
the
goal is,
gray champions?
yeah, the great champions.
Gray or great?
Gray, Grey.
Oh, this is from the fourth turning.
Exactly.
I thought there's supposed to be one.
They're supposed to be, but we're lucky. In this fourth turning, we have dos. We have a father and we have a monarch. It's great.
All right. Long Bitcoin. Got it.
Long Bitcoin. Last on our list is
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'm a Cardano stan. All right, you know that I'm a Cardano stan, but and I'm against Solana. I'm not just not pro Solana. I'm against Solana. All right, so come at me, bro. Here's
It's
the thing,
got
though.
adoption. It's got VC money. It's got all the excitement and the energy. They're building things there. They're doing things there. Nothing's happening on Cardano. Nobody's
Okay,
even using
so
it.
what is it that they're doing? What is it that they're building? What is it like? What are these killer apps? What are these things that you can't help but use?
Tom, I don't know, but it must be doing something because all this money's going into it and it's hyped up to the max. Raul Paul loves it.
Yeah, so this is what they said about Ethereum, right? So remember in the last cycle, Ethereum was like way better than Bitcoin, way more developers, ease of starting off projects. You had meme coins, you had NFTs, you had DeFi. You know, you're just making money hand over fist in all kinds of different places inside of the Ethereum ecosystem. So then, why would Solana have taken over? Because presumably they're faster, right?
The fees.
Fees
I'm
are
guessing.
low, but there's plenty of networks that have higher fees, that have lower fees, and that are faster than Ethereum. Plenty of them. Why
Name
was
one.
HBAR, Cardano, um, EOS,
Name 10.
Avalanche, all the layer twos from? Well, here's the thing. Because I think it's because of the VC money, the
Right.
Chamath Palihapitiya's and the David Sachs of the world. I don't know if they were the ones who specifically bought, but from the conversation on All In podcast, they couldn't wait to dump their bags on unsuspecting retail traders. But it was pumped up by VCs.
Hmm.
So all kinds of favorable, they come out of nowhere, all kinds of favorable marketing for it, and celebrity status for the founders. The whole thing just came out of nowhere. How all of a sudden this token, I barely heard about, boom, launch over the best of all things. Fine. Great price appreciation. Not going to fault people for that. But for me, just pure price appreciation alone doesn't matter. All right. I'll point you to Luna. Nice little cautionary tale. I'll point you to Safe Moon.
You
Right?
and
John
Safe Moon.
Caroni right now is sitting around with an ankle bracelet on. See how well that went. So price appreciation to me is not the proof of the validity of a system. And I was actually going to play for you this video about all these suspicious activities on Solana, just like the network itself, about how much of the transactions have to do with consensus mechanism. So it you know, on the blockchain, they're always confirming with each other to make sure that the blockchain is synced across all the different nodes. And normally, you wouldn't count those messages as part of the volume of the network,
Right.
because that's not showcasing use of the network. That's just the consensus. And it's some, I don't have the numbers over here, so people can show me inside of the comments, no problem. But it's some significant amount that is consensus mechanism votes that are happening. That's being counted as volume. Aside from that, the volume of transactions on Solana has been dropping pretty precipitously. I think we're down to less than half than it was last year. And that started before you had stuff like Trump coin, Melania coin, and Libra token, right? So you have this network where the thing that I've heard everyone talk about it, what hasn't even been all the DeFi stuff that we saw from Ethereum, trying to start off new projects, trying to do microloans, trying to do whatever. It's meme coins.
Wait, all those meme coins were on the Solana network?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just this money factory where, hey, if you get in early enough, you might be able to dump on the next person coming. I have not heard anything like, in the Cardano network, you have like, World Token, you have these stablecoin projects, you have Midnight privacy token, you have all kinds of different interesting things within the network, and a bunch of these other networks. I'm not just singling out Cardano. A bunch of the other networks have things that they're trying out, new ideas and use cases, new security things, new ways of monetizing, like monetizing actual productivity, all kinds of different ways. What's the Solana pitch? They have a phone I haven't seen. What's supposed to justify Board A Club level price on their assets? I don't get it. You're just using the token in order to degen into pumped off fun tokens. And people seem to have been like enough already with the tokens.
You think?
Well, CoffeeZilla is doing the Lord's work, just bringing attention to just how badly people are getting burned, and it's sort of like.
But that's not a testament to Solana. That's a criticism of the projects, the meme coins that are on there. That has nothing to do with Solana.
Yeah, but that's like 3/4 of the traffic on the Solana network is from these meme coins.
Yeah, but how is that a knock on Solana?
It's a knock on Solana is that it's not the place for developers to build serious projects in the financial space. And
are you saying that they can't?
Well, that's not what's happening.
Yeah, but isn't it because the market is down? We're in a crypto winter, and
we're in a bull market. What are you talking about? We've been in a bull market since October 2023.
We're in a crypto winter. Bitcoin's at 95,000. We're in a crypto winter, and people are just not excited about building things there right now. They're all in AI, but then as soon as it comes back around, that people will flood into Solana and build it up.
No.
Okay.
That's not what's happening. What's happening? What Solana? What you see on the tin is what it is.
Wait, why aren't people building on Solana?
Well, they're building on Solana, but they're building meme coins and schemes.
Yeah, but so what? If people came over to Cardano and started doing meme coins and schemes, that wouldn't knock Cardano.
Yes, it would.
I'm trying to figure out
being incentivized. Absolutely.
You're saying Solana is incentivizing these meme coins?
Yes.
How?
The VC money that's within the network has helped develop the Solana network, and those same people are then also part of these projects to launch.
Oh, you're saying the hype?
Meme coins.
The hype. The whole thing is about hype, and that's how they're incentivizing hype agents to come on.
Well, if the adoption is that in our red light district, you can there's people there that you can grift, that you can scheme, that you can pump on, literally pumped off fun. Pump and dump is supposed to be a bad thing, and it's called pumped off fun. That's like the spin zone or hype factory in the news. It's like those are bad things. Hype is a bad thing. Remember when hype was a bad thing? Spin is a bad thing? It's lying. Hype and spin is lying.
It's narrative. Everything needs a narrative.
And so, and it's the same problem that we had we had this already with Ethereum. I'm not saying Ethereum dropped into zero. I'm just saying that the popularity of it was, how can I find ways of turning hype into coins, into profit for the project owners.
So you're saying it's creating Solana creates an environment. Excuse me. Solana creates an environment of hype, and that's what's incentivizing hype type things.
Well, I'm not saying that the Solana developers, like the founders or the core philosophy of the platform, is that. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that what's drawing people to the network is being able to do these things because of how cheap and how easy it is to do. Great, but
So if Solana wasn't there, wouldn't they just be doing this stuff on other chains?
yeah, just like they did on Ethereum last time. They'll do it on Sui for the next one or whatever.
Will they do it on Cardano?
No, Cardano has never made one millionaire ever. You will not get rich from using Cardano. Right? That's not what it's about, Peter. Come on.
Right.
Cardano is about technology, about building the
Yeah.
tubes and pipes
It's
for a
the
new
Linux,
financial
the
system.
Linux of the crypto world. I got it.
Even they make a little bit too much money. Go earlier on. Okay. It's the board game
Of the
developers
crypto
of
world.
crypto world, right? So it's D&D. You know what I mean? Like, okay, how can you be? And so, and that's what I like about Cardano. The way you get money from the system, the way, like, there's no hype engine. I mean, there's no hype engine for Cardano whatsoever. You're ostracized.
I think they want hype. I just don't think they have the capacity for it.
Well, now they're ready for it because now they've finished the token. It's been governance is now released to the people. Now it's ready to go. But there's no centralized force. Like Cardano has never gone down. I think 7 years has never gone down once. There's funding inherent within the system. The transactions build up into a treasury that has this process where you can request funds from that in order to build new things within the network. It's how you would want a decentralized government to work. I've never heard anything like that from Solana. I never heard anything about how the technology was built in order to be fundamentally reliable for a new way of being, which is what the whole crypto thing was about. That was the whole idea. The whole idea for crypto was that we were paving the way to a new financial system, a new way of being, a new level of transparency and ownership over your own things. That's not why people are buying Melania tokens and Libra tokens. That's not why people are buying it. They just want to dump on the next guy. Look, I make money from SafeMoon. I'm not trying to say I'm above anything. I'm pretty happy with that. But all I'm saying is that it's not the type of network that I'm like, okay, I'm proud of being a part of. I was like, I make my money on SafeMoon, so Ethereum is for me. I go, no. I
So
walked into the red light district. I sold the VCR that I stole from someone's house, got my money, and left. That's what I did.
all right. So you're not a Solly head. That's what we call people in Solana. Solly
No, it's
heads.
more of a no. They should be called Solana Knights. Solana Knights. Yeah, let's do that. Solana Knights. Sal. They shouldn't be Sal. They should be Sal, which means dirty in French. In case you didn't pick up on that,
Nobody picked up on that.
they're dirt. Anyone who uses Solana should be excommunicated from the empire.
Okay,
Be
strong
gone.
words. Trump used Solana. Just so you know,
Look, King Trump doesn't always know. He's just trying things out. And to be fair, when he put up the website for it, which he built himself, I have on good grounds. He built the website himself. He did it in Webflow, pretty good. He had a pretty good eye. Didn't generate his own images, so I don't want to give him too much credit, but he did build the website himself. And it said, "Hey, have fun with it. Have fun with it. Look, get at it." He threw some chum into the water. The fish went crazy. Like just feed the fish. So I'm not trying to blame him for that. But we need, that's just, what is he going to do? He's going to build it on Cardano. It'll take him 7 years. Come on, he's got to get that token out. You're out of your mind. Again, he's got to pump and dump. I understand that.
So what's the trade for Solana? Get out? Just dump it?
No. You go long Solana until the liquidity cycle is done. Make your money and then sell out of it. I'm not trying to say people shouldn't make money on Solana, but they shouldn't think that this is the beginning of a long and beautiful relationship. When you hire a prostitute, you're not looking for a long-term commitment here. You know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. All right, folks. That's it for the right moves.
Oh my God.
Come back next Sunday for even more amazing trade ideas that all eventually end up with being long Bitcoin. If you're interested in how to actually leverage Bitcoin, how to do trades where you can do up to 50x trades on Bitcoin to make some money, you want to watch us on Sunday Fuel, which will be coming up any moment now. We'll be going over the trades from last week and the trades coming up this week. But until then,
This is in relation to your signal.
yes, absolutely. But if you want more on that, you have to basically just click off this video and then click on the next one for Sunday Fuel, where we're essentially giving you just exactly the same because we're going to do it right now. This is just how it's going to be. Sunday Fuel to this one. We're all warmed up now from the right moves. Right wing trades always gets me a little bit going, gets me a little bit hyped. So let's move off to Sunday Fuel. Oh shoot, we weren't live.
Never gets old.
You were nervous
Never
there.
gets, yeah,
You were
I
scared.
checked
You were
it.
crying like a
It's
little
very
girl.
bad.
Look at you crying like a little girl.